Hello,
Hello,
people
of the internet.
from the internet
From the
the internet. What would be
Whichever.
the correct way to address this? I guess.
Of course, yeah.
Well, hello, all of you. That my name is Martin,
My name is George.
and
Welcome back.
welcome back. Me and George, we've been absent for
Yes.
a 2 weeks or
2 weeks,
something.
Yeah.
It's been
like 2 weeks.
it's been a chaotic 2 weeks.
Very busy.
A lot of losses, a lot of gains. We've been. I've been rehearsing. I'm on a show. I'm on a theater show.
Yes.
What do you call those plays?
Plays.
I'm on a play.
Exactly.
It's
That's a
very
thing.
draining, of course. George, what have you been up to?
Oh man, I mean.
Update our audience.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I've been working on a couple sets just for other people. Not anything too super serious, or not and nothing like super serious. I've been working on like papers and stuff, and mostly just other schoolwork. Really, like it's nothing super, it's super intense. It's not like a play. Or
Well,
anything,
but
me
me and George, we've tried to we had some attempts in discussing some things. We did like an episode on like Luca Guadagnino,
Yeah.
but we were
only
very
the ones we've seen.
yeah, only the ones we've seen, and we were very tired, and it was like an hour long
It was not
podcast, and it was very like we diverged a lot from the main topic, and so anyways, here we are, and today we've decided that we're going to talk about two different films that
very near to our hearts.
they're very near to our
Very
hearts,
inspirational.
and very inspirational films, and also very sad films. They're both documentaries.
Yes.
So the first one is called Jodorowsky's Dune.
Jodorowsky.
Jodorowsky.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't watch it.
Jodorowsky. I don't know. I've always called it
I
Jodorowsky,
think
but Jodorowsky's Dune and
Burden of Dreams.
Burden
by
of
Les
Dreams
Blanc.
by Les Blanc. And who's Jodorowsky's Dune director?
Oh,
Let's see this.
Man, I don't know.
Because
that's
it's such a movie about
how do you spell Jodorowsky?
Jodorowsky.
Jodorowsky. I literally was trying to think of how to spell his name. The other day
George is
because-
from Michigan.
Oh yeah, from that means I'm illiterate. The other day, or I should say this before we talk about this because I should preface that I've never seen a Jodorowsky movie. I've only seen his
Frank
Dune.
Pavich. Frank Pavich.
What else has he done?
I had no idea.
Okay, I mean, but yeah, I've never seen.
He's done some
other
stuff.
Jodorowsky movie before.
No,
but
he's done anything. He's done
okay.
this. That's okay.
I need to see El Topo.
El Topo.
But I
and
know that
I haven't seen
Holy
any. I
Mountain-
haven't seen any Jodorowsky films, which I think was actually a nice introduction. I think that this
Yeah.
film is a very nice
I was-
introduction to him as a filmmaker and as an
Absolutely.
artist, because I feel like I wanna see more.
No, I agree with you because I was gonna say I thought the same thing earlier today too because I was like I'm honestly glad that we watched this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you
You have an
him-
idea.
Yeah.
It's also it is biographical in a way.
Absolutely.
Also, let's start with Jodorowsky's Dune. I'll touch
Yeah.
on the subject.
You know more about
So
Dune.
so Dune is a science fiction novel by Frank Herbert. From what 1969, 1964, something like that, and it's a very big, complex series. You don't have to read the whole series to get what you need. You can read the first book, which is called Dune, and it's the story about Paul, this young man who is the son of a royal couple. Let's put it this way: a duke and his lady. It's more complex than that, but anyways, this whole family, this whole house has to move to the planet Arrakis, also known as Dune, for reasons that are in the book. And so they move there, and it's kind of Paul's story trying to survive in this environment. And it's very political, it's very complex, but it's very well written. It's incredible, it's life-changing. Dune by Frank Herbert.
Damn.
And so following Jodorowsky's success with his previous films, El Topo and... What's the other one? The Holy Mountain.
That's his biggest one.
Holy Mountain. He was approached by some studios or by some producers. He was approached by Michael by Michael Sidou.
Okay.
Which is the French producer attached to this movie, and he was like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Like, what do you feel like doing?
What do you want to do?
What do you feel like doing? What do you feel like
Yeah.
directing? What
Next
do you feel like?
thing, yeah.
what is the project that you want? And Jodorowsky said, Dune. I want to do Dune. I haven't read it. I haven't read it, but someone told me it's amazing, and I want to do Dune.
Before we watched the movie too, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if he just outright says, I've never read the book, and in the first 10, 15 minutes,
he says, I've never read the book, but I just really wanted to make it. And he reads the book eventually, of course.
Of course.
So what happens is that Jodorowsky is convinced that he has to do this movie, and the movie has very ambitious goals.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like, oh, I need to find the best team to put this movie up, and he calls them the spiritual warriors, the spiritual warriors, because it's such. It's like the
thing. A team of the ensemble. If it happened, it would have been it would. I think it would have been bigger than Star Wars.
There's no doubt. I think that it wouldn't have been. That's the point. The point is that it's so big.
It's so outrageous.
It's so impossible to make. So the movie was 15 hours long, and so let's talk about behind the camera. So the movie's him talking about the first half of the movie is kind of him talking about
his whole,
trying to put the project together.
Right.
And so he got his spiritual warriors, which was going to be the crew that was going to work on the thing.
Right.
And so he hired some amazing people for VFX, some amazing people for character design, amazing people for everything. Mm-hmm. He approached Pink Floyd to do the soundtrack, and they said yes.
And he had I don't know who else, who the other bands were, but he said he would have
Magma,
He said he would have a band for every planet, which at the time, this was 1970?
1970 something.
So
no, for today it's bizarre.
That's still insane. If anybody came to 5 different band people, and if they were Pink, I don't know if anybody's Pink Floyd level now. That's a different debate, but big artists, if you came
Radiohead.
to them, if you went to Radiohead and were okay, I want you to make some music, they would say yes. But I mean the 4 other people that you'd have to pay would have to be just as expensive, if not more. And that's outrageous.
No. And the cast, I will read the cast that he wanted to make this. So Paul was going to be his son. He was going to have Orson Welles as the fucking emperor. David Carradine as I don't know who David plays.
Who's supposed to be,
the Duke Leto. He plays the Duke Leto.
I don't know.
think.
Yeah, I don't know these names, actually.
David Carradine plays the Duke Leto. Mick Jagger plays a guy. Udo Kier plays a guy. Salvador Dali plays the Mad Emperor of the universe.
Crazy. That's insane.
And so, anyways, we won't spoil the movie because you have to see it. But the first half, or the first halves of the film, it's him talking about how he was trying to get the movie done, and it just wouldn't go. But it also is how amazing would have been. And then the second half, or the last third of the movie, it's kind of him talking about how fucked up it is that it didn't happen, and it's so beautiful and so tragic. And there's a scene that he's the only reason we couldn't do it was because of money, and then he takes money off of his pocket and he's throwing it on the camera. He's what is this shit of money, what the fuck is this?
He's incredibly passionate about something that never happened, and I know that's a dumb thing to say.
He's 90 today, and he's it's something that has haunted him.
Exactly.
For his life.
So that you can. I guess what I'm saying.
He says, "I would cut my arms to do this."
I guess is what I'm saying is you can see, you can really, really, really see how much he wanted to make the movie.
Exactly, and
how
it
much
didn't happen, and it was taken away from him.
It really does hurt. Right?
And what hurts the most was that it is something that is incredible, and
neither of us have seen David Lynch's Dune either.
We've watched the first minutes and I was I cannot do this. This is too much on my heart.
I'm gonna see it eventually.
I want to see the Villeneuve's Dune.
Oh yes, that would be pretty good.
Denis Villeneuve.
Dennis.
Dennis. I want to see Dennis Dune.
Dennis Villeneuve.
I want to see the. Anyways, so making a parallel with Burden of Dreams. So George, talk about what is Burden of Dreams.
Burden of Dreams was Werner Herzog's the making of Werner Herzog's Fitzcarraldo, and he had been trying to make that for. I think they were making that for 5 years. And I totally forgot, but Mick Jagger was also in
a connection between Jodorowsky's Dune and the first Fitzcarraldo is that they both had Mick Jagger.
And it was like 40% done, they said, I think.
Yeah, so
it's like,
Herzog started shooting Fitzcarraldo, and they were like 40, and the script was like this actor that I don't remember the name.
He was an Italian.
He's an Italian actor, and he was playing the role of Fitzcarraldo, and he had a double, which like he had a pair, which was Mick Jagger, and Mick Jagger was also attached to Jodorowsky's. But anyways.
Yeah. So then after that fell through,
they were almost done.
But then he got sick. He got like dysentery or something.
No, but why didn't it work? I forgot.
You mean that one?
The Mick Jagger version.
Yeah, because the lead actor got dysentery and he went back to Europe or whatever. I think he was.
And the doctor, the lead actor got sick, and the doctor was like, because they were shooting in the Amazon, and he like a mosquito bit him, and his doctor was like, you cannot come back, and so like that ruined the movie, and it fell apart. And
but then Mick Jagger was originally supposed to stay on, but then he was touring with the Rolling Stones.
No, but Herzog also said, I can't
recast him.
I can't recast Mick Jagger, and so I have to write him off. So we spent like another year or two rewriting the script to take off Mick Jagger's character.
What was really interesting too was when he said that he was like, I forget the words, but the whole movie is also like Werner Herzog speaking, like rambling in the most poetic, beautiful way, and that's like one of the best things. It's like Jodorowsky, but like him just thinking about the natives and life and stuff. But he talks about how Mick Jagger was like a golden beacon in the original thing, and then he was like heartbroken that he was gone, and I thought that was really interesting.
But he cast Klaus Kinski, and they went to make the film.
Man,
They went and the troubles like seemed to be over, but it was just like the beginning of it. So when Herzog arrived at the Amazon for the second time with first they were shooting in Peru or something. When they arrived with Klaus and the whole new cast and the whole new crew, they started facing political problems with the natives
Peru
there.
And Ecuador
They didn't want them to shoot, and they wanted them to shoot. And if they were shooting a film, that they could also bring a political side that Herzog didn't want, and that bothered the natives. So he had a lot of other problems, like politically, it was dangerous. Someone got shot. Someone gets I don't want to spoil everything, but someone gets shot.
There's one scene where this is like a minor thing, but it's in the movie. Like it's the main thing is when he's pulling the boat up the mountain, and like I guess I didn't even realize the gravity, but like when they say how if it falls,
it will kill
30
people.
30 people.
It can kill 30
and
people.
He does it
and there's the scene with Herzog's like, okay, so if this falls, will it kill like 5 people?
Yeah.
Like, is that
that's the maximum
number? And then he's like, and the Brazilian engineer's like, dude, no, it can kill like 40 fucking people.
No, he goes, it's gonna be a catastrophe. He literally uses the word a catastrophe. And Werner Herzog goes,
looks at his producer. No, he looks at his producer and he's like, Peter, he's saying that it can kill more than 5 people, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the point is that Herzog goes through hell. I think that you have to see the movie to really understand like the gravity of the situation and how insane it got. But he went. Sorry,
this is like completely off topic, but I just remembered there's like one scene. I know this isn't really a spoiler too because this isn't in the Fitzcarraldo movie.
That's okay.
But there's like the part where he talks about how it's just a bunch of guys and there's native like girls, but they're all younger and they're not familiar with their Western culture and stuff. So he mentions how like the guys might get antsy, so they get like prostitutes.
They hire hookers.
And he's like, in any other situation,
it would be bizarre, but in the jungle, it's okay.
Yeah, and that was another thing.
The situation does get really crazy, like it gets bizarrely crazy, and it's like unbelievable the things that he has to make it. But Herzog and the title of the movie, the documentary is Burden of Dreams. The burden that it is of you to have dreams, and there's which is beautiful, and there is an interview with Herzog, and he says, if I don't finish this film, I will be a man with no dreams. And that's what I think hurts the most for Alejandro Jodorowsky that
He never finished.
he became a man with no dreams.
That's
But
very
it was for him perhaps like became a man with no dreams, but it was out of his domain, because it was like, look how crazy this is. Like for Alejandro Jodorowsky, the only problem was money.
Yeah.
And fucking Herzog went to the fucking jungle. Plane crashed. Like a plane's crashed. People from the crew died. No, people died in a plane crash, doing this.
Right.
People got shot through arrows. Like
Yes.
it took 10 years to shoot the thing, and he did it because he had the money. And that's so crazy to believe.
There was another thing that he had 3 boats built. That was a thing I totally forgot, because he mentions that in the book. But when you see them build the boats, it's like way more like.
No, it's crazy.
It's way more crazy, because then you see how.
No, it's something that I would never do. Like I don't know if I would ever be like as brave to do that. Like I would be brave to do what Jodorowsky did, which is like getting in like, you know, the studio heads and being like, for the love of God, do my film.
Yeah.
Or like going to talk to Pink Floyd and yelling at them.
Yeah, it's not like danger per se.
Yeah.
It's
ambitious, but it's not
ambitious,
dangerous.
but it's not dangerous.
And like Herzog almost died and almost killed people. And it's the same thing. Like example, Alejandro Jodorowsky, he uses his son Brontes Jodorowsky. He trained. He put his son on a schedule of having training 6 times a week,
insane.
Every day for like 5 hours of like kung fu and everything, so he could play Paul. And the interviewer is like, "Are you crazy? Like you wasted your son's life for like 2 years." And he says, I would cut my arms to do this film.
Yeah.
And I think that Herzog, like it's the same. Like he would kill people. Like he would kill those 5 people. He would kill himself. He would kill the crew. But he did that, and because people died, and he has to be faced with those consequences.
What's interesting though, you said this earlier to me, and I almost completely forgot the quote, is when he says he can't like it, or he can't like Fitzcarraldo.
He said in the making of Fitzcarraldo, Herzog says, if I am done with this film,
he's like,
it doesn't matter what it achieves, it doesn't matter what it does, it doesn't matter whatever people tell me, I will never like this film. And I think